I heard the laughter before I ever saw the smirk. Good thing your ex-boyfriend paid off your student loans. One of her friends joked. Champagne glass tilted midair like a blade disguised in crystal. I didn't laugh, didn't blink. I just turned and looked at my wife. She froze, smile half-formed, caught between charm and dread. "It's not what you think," she whispered, voice barely audible, brittle as glass about to shatter. I stood, no shaking hands, no cracking voice, just a calm, rhythmic thud of my heart, measured, cold. I cleared my throat. "What loans?" I asked. I dropped out of college to work 3 jobs so she could attend med school. I wired every dollar I earned straight to her account. I turned toward her, locked eyes. "So, what loans are they laughing about?" Silence collapsed over the room, thick and suffocating, as if someone had yanked the power from the air itself. 20 pairs of eyes, still mid-sip, frozen. My wife's eyes stretched wide, swimming in panic, teetering on the edge of confession, but clinging to the lie. I saw it then, the fear, the guilt, the truth, and I let the silence stay, let it wrap around her like invisible wire, twisting, tightening, until she couldn't breathe. Then I turned and walked out. We met in undergrad. She dreamed of saving lives in white coats and sterile rooms. I dreamed of building something we could both stand in. We were young, hungry, bold, broke. I had a scholarship, but it didn't cover everything. When her financial aid was denied, she cried in my arms, saying it was all over. So I left school, told her I'd catch up. But I never did. Instead, I stocked shelves in graveyard aisles, flipped greasy burgers under fluorescent lights, and wiped sweat and shame off in gas station sinks. Every cent, every worn, hard-earned cent, I sent to her. For rent, for textbooks, for tuition, for board exams. I kept her head above water while I quietly drowned. She called me her savior, her rock. She told me we'd build the dream together. She promised I'd walk across that graduation stage beside her. But something changed during her residency. She sharpened. She cooled. Started speaking in a tone that echoed from somewhere higher, like I was an echo from a past she would try to forget. I became a convenience, a pit stop. 6 months ago, I found the receipt, tucked deep in a drawer behind expired coupons and half-dried pens. A tuition statement, paid in full, by a name I knew too well. Her ex, the one she said was long gone, ancient history, irrelevant. I stared at the paper like it was a corpse. Silent, undeniable. Then I started digging. Bank statements, old messages, private Instagram accounts hidden under fake names. Turns out, while I was cleaning bathrooms for tips and living off caffeine and loyalty, she was flying to conferences on his dime. Networking, she called it. His money, his hotel suites, his affection, all while I labored for her future. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Not until I had everything. I began documenting. Screenshots, phone backups, voice memos. I even installed a keystroke logger on the shared laptop. Not to spy, just to confirm what my gut already knew. I wasn't paranoid. I was preparing. And then I saw it. A joint account with his name. Their names. She was planning to invest in a clinic. Asterisk our asterisk dream. But with him, that's when the pain stopped. And the planning began. First, I moved the money. Every last dollar I'd saved. Every investment. Transferred quietly, legally, into accounts in my name. I emptied our joint savings a day before her graduation. Not stolen. Earned. Second, I met with a lawyer. She'd once laughed at the idea of a prenup. "I trust you," she said. But I recorded that conversation. Turns out trust makes a decent contract when written out. Third, I began sending anonymous packages. No letters, no accusations, just pure, clean documentation. Flight receipts, hotel records, screenshots, affectionate messages, all mailed to her hospital's HR department, to her residency board, to the investor behind that shiny new clinic. Then I RSVP'd to her graduation party. After I left the table that night, I didn't go far. I waited by the exit, waited for her to follow. And like clockwork, she did, heels snapping against polished floor, breath shallow, fury barely contained. "You embarrass me," she hissed. I turned slowly. "No," I said. "You did that." I just pulled back the curtain. "You're blowing this out of proportion," she snapped. "It was just money." She tossed her hair. "I earned it." "You mean like how you talked to him while I worked double shifts?" I leaned in. "While I broke my back to keep your dream alive?" She had no answer, just stared, blinking back the reality of what she had just lost. The fallout was immediate. The hospital froze her onboarding. An ethics investigation launched. The investor? Gone. And her reputation, once crisp, sharp, elite, was suddenly radioactive. Whispers started before the party was even over. And the ex didn't appreciate being pulled into a scandal, especially when his wife found out. She tried to come home 2 nights later. The locks had been changed, her things packed and labeled in boxes on the porch. I left a note. "You said it wasn't what I thought. Turns out it was exactly what I thought. Goodbye." People ask me if I regret it. No, I regret not seeing it sooner. I regret loving someone who saw me as a stepping stone. I regret giving so much of myself without ever reading the fine print. But revenge? That was poetry. Each move deliberate. Each silence sharpened like a blade. She thought I was a safety net. The fallback. The fool too loyal to ever leave. But a man who gives up everything for someone else? He learns how to lose. And when he's finally emptied of hope, he learns how to plan. And when he plans, he becomes dangerous. Now I'm back in school. Full ride. Finishing what I started. I sleep 8 hours. Eat 3 solid meals. Smile sometimes. She still tries to call. I never pick up. Because the sweetest revenge was never ruining her career. It was showing her that I never needed her success to build my own. She was just standing in the way.